Can you talk us through the challenges and intricacies of directing a naked Stephen Fry?
Yes. I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be an issue. We all thought it was going to be an issue when we presented in the pages, and then at the end he says he's naked, and he turned up on the day naked, and there was no great resistance. Rather like getting Robert into a dress, there was no great resistance. So I've got a sneaky suspicion it could have been his idea. Anyway, he turned up to work without any clothes, so you know. It went from there. There was no work on my part.
Also obvious casting as Sherlock Holmes' smarter elder brother?
Yeah, actually we said this yesterday, Rob and I. We have a mutual friend, that chap Chris Martin out of Coldplay, and he's a Sherlockian, very enthusiastic about the whole thing. By the way, so Stephen Fry. And it was his idea. I think he told you first, didn't he?
I think so. We don't know where the idea is.
Yeah,
every good idea in this movie came from Chris Martin. Okay? Now you heard it.
Because you mentioned pitfalls of sequels. What are the less obvious pitfalls of sequels? Because nobody sets out to make a bad sequel, and nobody knows anything, as William Goldman says.
Well, I think we were really fortunate to have new blood with Numi, because humble as she's being, she came in basically having mastered a second language inside a year, and came in as part of this creative team and started challenging the very tenets of what does it mean for her to be a third party to this investigation, and what is it, you know, how can she fit into the storyline, how important is it? And I think the main thing that gets lost is that you have to redouble your humility, because there's a natural inflation that occurs in success, and until it's happened you can't know it. So I guess the main thing is, you know, you unconsciously take things for granted, and you think the audience is with you just because you're with yourself, and it's not true. So I guess that's, again, going back to the team thing, and these were the discussions that Jude and I had all the time about what would we expect, and what would be expectable that would be gotten wrong the second time, because you're still thinking about how you're going to spend all the money you made, or, you know, that now all of a sudden you're the creative pillar of the series.
But it was really, you know, absolutely amazing to see and to discover how you worked, because I stepped into this big, you know, American movie, and then the way Guy and, you know, you two worked was so playful and easy, and it was almost, you know, I forgot that I was nervous, and I forgot everything around. It felt almost like a small indie production, because it was like such a teamwork, and everybody was so, it was so intimate, and it was amazing to be a part of.
I think it's really important that we talk about their gypsy dance sequence just for a moment.
What would you like to know, Robert?
Where did you get those moves, pal?
And how long, for how many days were we dancing, Guy?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I made them dance for 3 days and used 5 seconds of it.
Just before we move on, Joel, you're a man who knows something about sequels. Were you able to give a steer on this as well, about keeping the energies?
Well, I mean, I'd always tried to find a way to make the sequel without making the first movie, but it was really impossible to do that. But, you know, the idea was always to try to make something fresh and original, and while still replicating the experience of the first movie. And, you know, we all have favorite sequels, of which there are not that many, you know, but we've all been involved in making more, you know, more than one movie. I mean, I have done that a lot of times, and you always feel that the second one is really critical, because that's the one that kind of continues the saga. And of course, you know, I mean, they're starting Bond 23, and I don't see why we can't do Sherlock 23, but we have to do, you know, 21 more movies. But I think that, you know, this is very impressive that we put together a movie that is that feels like, it doesn't feel like we're just carbon copying the first picture. It feels in many ways better than the first movie, and it's bigger and more exciting, and it kind of lets the audience really enjoy these characters and just go with it.